Okay, so today we're going to be looking at Lesson 86, Area of a Circle. And so on your notes, I need you to copy down. The title is going to be Lesson 86, and it's going to be called Area of a Circle. Make sure you write that down in your notes. Anytime you need to, pause this video, or you can watch it again if I talk too fast. You know I'm not good at that. So today we're going to be able to calculate the area of a circle and understand the reason why the formula works. Okay, and then here's it's going to be Math and Geometry, grade 6. So just a review for us, and you may want to write it down in your notes. It would never hurt to make sure you have it jotted down again. Previous concepts. Diameter is distance across the center of a circle, or twice the radius. So what that means to me is that my diameter is equal to radius, or I could say this, my radius is half the diameter. Either way, it both means the same thing. So diameter is the distance across the center of a circle, or twice the radius. And then the radius is the distance from the center to the center of the circle to the edge, or half of the diameter. So that's kind of going with that formula right there. In pi, we know the symbol for pi is this. The symbol used to represent 3.3 and 1400ths, or it's the ratio of 22 divided by 7. Either way, both the same thing. But for this case, we will be using 3 and 1400ths. Okay, so if I want to do the radius of the circle, I know the radius is, let me move the circle up a little bit. The radius is from one edge to the center of the circle, and I'm hoping that's the center. So this would be the radius from here to here, and the radius of this circle will be from one edge of the circle to the center of the circle, right? One thing that helps me is when I think diameter, I think it goes all the way through the circle. So that's the radius. The radius is from one edge of the circle. It could be from here to here, but it goes from one edge to the center of the circle, okay? Now let's look at the diameter. If I wanted to look at the diameter of the circle, the diameter goes from one side through the center to the circle to the other side. Okay, and so see how it goes through the center? It goes all the way through. That's why radius goes from one side through the center of the circle. Okay, so hopefully you guys are doing good at that refresher right there. So here's the main kicker of our lesson today, area of a circle, and here's our formula for that. Area of a circle is pi radius, area is pi times radius squared. So what I want you to write down, area of a circle, make sure you have that in your notes. Area equals pi times radius squared. And remember, radius is the radius times the radius. So in this case, if you have the diameter, you're going to need to have that diameter to find the radius so you can solve the problem correctly. And so here's a sample problem. For this circle right here, if I want to find the area of the circle, I plug in my radius to the formula, and I know pi is 3 and 1400ths. That's what we're going to be using here. Pi is 3 and 1400ths. So I'm going to write the formula. 3 and 1400ths times my radius squared. The radius is 2, so 2 times 2 is 4. So 3 and 1400ths times 4 equals my area of 12 and 5600ths. And we don't know, if it doesn't tell you the units, you put units squared, because we know area is always squared. So for this problem, my area equals 12 and 5600ths units squared. Make sure you have the formula down. Area of a circle is pi times radius squared. Okay. So let's look at some of these. For this one right here, we're going to practice find the area for these circles. If the diameter is 2 units, my radius, I know my radius is half of the diameter. So if my diameter is 2, my radius has to equal radius equals 1 unit. So for this problem right here, I need more room, but we're going to work with it. So I'm going to plug in area equals pi radius squared. So my area equals 3 1400 times 1 squared. Well, 1 squared is really 1 times 1 is just 1. So all I'm left with now is, I know my, whoops, I don't know what happened there. I know area equals 3 1400 times 1. So my area equals 3 1400 units squared. Okay, so you guys feel good about that? Make sure you're working this with me. If you need to, take a break. Make sure you have that copied down. Now let's do another one of these. Okay. So on this one right here, if this circle right here has a radius of 3, can I plug it in and solve for it? Sure, I'm on the blue circle now. So no, area equals pi r squared. So area equals 3 1400 times 3 squared. So let's plug in what we know. 3 squared is 3 times 3. It's not 3 plus 3, 3 times 3. So 3 1400 times 9. So when I multiply that out, 9 times 3 1400, I want you to do that too. You multiply it on your paper. I'm going to give you a chance to. Our area should be 28 2600 units squared. Now, if it told me the unit, if it says centimeters, meters, feet, I would know, so I would put squared after whatever that is. But if it doesn't tell me, I'm going to use units. So hopefully you guys are doing good. Now I want you to work this orange circle right here. Well, actually, you know I can't let you work. I'm going to work with you. So my diameter is 4, so my radius has to be 2, half my diameter. So for the orange circle, let's write the formula. Area equals pi r squared. So area equals 3 1400, that's a decimal, times 2 squared. Okay, so area equals 3 1400. What is 2 squared? 2 times 2 is 4. So now we just multiply 3 1400 times 4. And you should get the answer 12 5600. We don't know the units, so I'm going to use units. Units squared. Remember when we're multiplying that, 3 1400, make sure that you move your decimal over. When we multiply, we move decimals over. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. But I did the wrong one, didn't I? I should be multiplying by, I was wondering why that was wrong. I didn't square my radius, so I should multiply by 4. So 4 times 4 is, go ahead, 16. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 3 times 4 is 12. Oh, I kind of started working there. See, don't make the mistake that I did. So that, remember, you make sure you multiply by the radius square, not just the radius. Okay, and your homework for tonight is going to be lesson 86 in your book. It's going to be page 449 through 451, and it's going to be 1 through 29 odd. If you finish early, you can play any of the games under my links from my resource page. So make sure you're only on my resource page. And thanks for working hard today.